It's a pleasure to welcome to studio Avi Pazner, a former Israeli ambassador to France and Italy and the former world chairman of Keren Hayasod, the United Israel Appeal, and Benjamin Antony, the CEO and founder of the MirYam Institute. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for being here. An important day, much to discuss. I want to start with the information given to AFP by an apparent negotiator for Israel, saying that dozens of hostages are alive. I mean, now we know Hamas is not giving proof of life. We don't even have a list in terms of how many people are being held, where they're being held, who's holding them. Your take on this latest information?
First of all, Benita, I'm relieved to hear that dozens of hostages are alive, because, you know, there were big question marks on this question. Of course, this is not an official statement, sure. And the Hamas, in its cruelty, has never given any number of dead and alive. I even don't speak about the names. But this should give us, together with the testimony we heard now from this woman who has been sexually abused.
Amit Susana, incredibly brave.
And who is not afraid to talk about it publicly. And she is doing a great service, because now we are more aware of what's going on now, and we are more committed to get the other women and men out of this living hell. And we have to apply more pressure. You see that the Hamas has rejected the plan, actually. Already 2 weeks that they give conditions which are unacceptable to Israel, end of the war, complete withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, knowing perfectly well nobody will accept that. So what is the answer? More pressure. More military pressure, especially in the Rafah and maybe in the Khan Yunis area where Sinwar is hiding. More diplomatic pressure. I heard a day or two ago that Qatar is thinking about expelling the Hamas leadership. This comes as a result of pressure. I mean, we have to apply more pressure everywhere to get these people out of this hell.
Benjamin, what does that pressure look like?
Well, first of all, I'm sick and tired of these leaks. I don't actually commend any negotiator who's privy to some of the most delicate talks in the history of the State of Israel, who's put in a position of great trust by not only the Prime Minister of the State of Israel and the War Cabinet at various points before it was disbanded, but also, of course, by the parents and the family members of hostages who are being held inside dungeons inside the Gaza Strip. What possible virtue, what new light has he shed on the situation by leaking to the Associated Press this very vague idea that there are dozens of hostages still alive? Surely we're already fighting as though we are seeking to bring back the maximum possible number of hostages alive that we are able to do. Surely we're already negotiating with all of the intensity that we're able to muster in order to bring back the maximum number of hostages alive that we're able to do. I think that these people should think twice before they sow such hysteria among the general public, and particularly doing so to an outside source like the AP, I think is unforgivable. And I think that they should be reprimanded for doing so if we can find out who they are. There's been all sorts of talk over who it might be.
Right.
We'll wait and see. In terms of the pressure, I don't think there's any more diplomatic pressure that can be really applied that will bear fruit. I'm of the opinion that we need to intensify our operation inside the Gaza Strip, certainly inside Rafah and elsewhere. And in fact, we also need to target directly and pursue directly to the ends of the earth the leaders of Hamas. And quite frankly, we need to bring them home to Israel in body bags as well, because I think that's what the Israeli public demands. I'm sorry for being direct, but that's what we need here.